Hey out there to all my homeschool moms. I'm coming to you from my own homeschool room in my house that we have established. And, if you're anything like me, maybe this season of being the educator of your child has come as a bit of a shock to you. Maybe you even feel like you're not super well equipped or prepared. Maybe you feel a bit exhausted from what's happening with your kids as you try to teach them and have structure and provide educational material they're going to be excited about and interested in. It's really hard. And as I've been thinking about how to do this well in this season, I was reminded of a story in Scripture, and God's really encouraged my heart in that, and I wanted to share it with you. In Exodus chapter 3, we are just starting to meet Moses as an adult, and this is the chapter where he meets God face to face and receives the call in his life to be the great leader of Israel. And it's so interesting. In this moment, God lays out this lavish and grace-filled plan, extending an offer to him to be a military type leader, to be a navigator, to be a caretaker and a political ruler. And Moses' response to this offer, this opportunity, is one of extreme insecurity. I mean, he says, "Oh Lord, who am I that I could go speak to Pharaoh? Who am I?" I mean, and later on in the book of Exodus, he says, "I can't even talk to people. Like, I don't have the skills required to do what you're asking me to do right now." So I think Moses is a character we can really identify with if we're feeling overwhelmed in this role of being a homeschool mom. And so I love what God says to him in response to his insecurity. Moses says, "Well, who am I that I can do all this?" And God says, "I will be with you." He doesn't answer the question. He says, "Don't worry about what you don't have and what you lack. I'm with you." God plus one is always a majority. He says, "I'm going to be with you every step of the way." And Moses says, "Well, who are you?" Because he's still really getting to know the Lord. And God responds by saying, "I am who I am." And that phrase can also be translated, "I am that I am." And I love that because it really conveys the sufficiency of the Lord. What he's telling Moses is that whatever you find that you're lacking, I'm that. I am. I'm going to supply everything that you need to be successful in what I'm calling you to do. And what's better is God already knew the experience that Moses had that had perfectly equipped him to do what he was being called to do. See, Moses was a Hebrew by birth, and he was about to lead Hebrews. Moses was raised in the house of Pharaoh, and so he knew how to navigate political issues and speak to royalty. He knew the protocol that was necessary. He had spent 40 years shepherding sheep and learning how to care and provide and feed for a huge flock. So he was perfectly suited for this job, and God could see that. And I'm sure Moses over the next several years looked back in wonder, seeing how God had perfectly prepared him for what he was asking him to do. And moms, I just want to remind you that in this season, God knew he was going to call you to be a homeschool mom right now. And he knows that every bit of the experiences and the skills that he's built into your story are exactly what your children need. So you don't have to look around on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and feel that sense of insecurity. You don't have to ask yourself, who am I? I don't have what it takes. You don't have to feel that discouragement. What God is asking us to do is focus outward and upward onto him, on who he is and what he can do. He says, "I'm going to be with you every step of the way." He has called you to something new, just as he called Moses to something new. But he's going to be with you, and he's going to be sufficient in everything that you lack. He's going to show up there, and he's going to provide. So what we're called to do in this season is not become super teachers. It's to become super followers. Get up every morning and spend time in prayer. Pray for your household. Pray for your children. Pray for your sanity. And then go and get into his word and let him feed you and fill you so that you can feed and fill your little ones. What they need as your kids is exactly what you have. You have what it takes. So give yourself a break, cling to the Lord, and know that he goes with you and he goes before you. And he is mighty and he is equipped and sufficient. And because you are his girl, so are you. You all have a great day. Praying for you. Love you. Be encouraged. We'll see you soon.